Hey, 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 happy Tuesday. Welcome everybody. Hi, Kent. I see you out there. Hey guys, oh, nobody's sitting in the front row. Wow, just Becky. She's all by herself there. Hey, Becky. Can you hear me out there? Hey, Bear. Becky needs some company in the front row. Hey guys, I hear Bryce is there. Where's Bryce? Wave.
Oh, Bryce. Bryce, what's up?
We're already missing Bryce down here. Glad you're there. Super cool. So welcome everybody. Glad to see all of you tonight. A couple announcements.
Oh, run.
Okay, all right. Keeping Becky some company up there in the front row. Awesome. Okay, so a few announcements before we get started, everybody. So first of all, if this is your first time, welcome, welcome. We'd love a chance to get to meet you tonight a little later. But a couple announcements. So moms group, all of you ladies out there, all you moms, aunts, grandmas, all the ladies, we call us the mob, the moms of Battlefield, but it is all for all ladies. You are invited to join us every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. We all get together on Zoom. It's just a 1 hour coffee date. It's just an opportunity for us to get to know each other more, talk about the topics each week. It's just really a great time. So we just really want to invite all of you to join us. If you don't already have the Zoom link, you can reach out to me or Becky and we will get it to you, but definitely join us tomorrow morning if you can. And even if just sometimes you can join us, you can just pop in when you can. That's fine. Even if you can't join us every week, we still welcome you. We want to get to know all of you. So if you can join us, please do. Also, we are busy. Gosh, Kristen, Becky, me, and Tiff, we have been busy working on the Run for Recovery. We're getting ready to kick that live here pretty soon. We're not quite ready yet, but we should be ready to go live with registrations, hopefully by next solution group next week. This is the earliest we've ever kicked it. We, this is our 10th anniversary year, so we're really going big with our two biggest fundraisers of the year, which is our 5th annual Run for Recovery. It's a walk or run. So if you're competitive and love to run, awesome. Or if you like to just take it easy and stroll, that's fine too. It's for everybody. That's Saturday, May 11th, and that's Mother's Day weekend, and that's in Auburn. And then in the fall, we have our 7th annual dinner auction. That is on November 9th. So make sure to save the dates, put those on your calendars. More details will be rolling out in the coming weeks, but here in the next week or so, we will have all the details for Run for Recovery live for you all to just blow it up, help us spread the word. We want to just get tons of people there and have a really great event Saturday, May 11th. So stay tuned for that. And for those of you who want to help out behind the scenes, we're looking for volunteers for both events. So be sure and let us know so we can put you on the list. We're just kind of ironing out the main details now behind the scenes, and then pretty soon. So you haven't missed anything. If you've already signed up for that, you haven't missed anything yet. We're just kind of ironing out all the behind the scenes details before we start forming the different teams and whatnot. So if you'd like to be a helper in that, please let us know, and we'll make sure to let you know when we're ready. Thank you for that. And Becky, is there anything else I'm missing? Anything you want to share before we turn it over? Oh, you're muted. I see you talking, but you're muted. Can we get her unmuted over there, guys? Thank you. Nico to the rescue. Hi, guys. Hey, Becky.
I can't really think of anything to share.
Okay, so we're good. We got it all for now. And next week I'll actually be there live in person. So for all you local people who want to join us at Kent's, I'll be there. So hopefully y'all can join us. I'm dropping things. Hopefully you can join us next Tuesday. I will be there with you guys in that little room. Can't wait to be there. All right, we're done with the announcements. Let's roll it over. We don't have comedy tonight. Mr. Kyle Munkers is working late tonight, so no comedy. Darn it. So we're just gonna move it right over to Mr. Art. Let's see, here we go. Okay, we're ready to roll. But
Tyler said he could just put a picture of him up, and that would be comedy enough.
Picture of Mr. Munkers.
Yeah.
Oh, ah.
Can you maybe set it up different? This is how we set it up. Oh, that's not it. There's something else we do.
Yeah,
This can't be how we normally do it.
Yeah,
Is
this is how we normally do it, so you can see everything.
Wow. Feels off. Maybe it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, we took a break last week. We're back.
Oh. So, we've been in this game for, I'm coming up on 13 years now. 13 years of sobriety and very quickly into my sobriety, I began to get in the trenches and, I think just for my own self or my own, whatever it was, I needed to help people. I thought it was a good idea. So we got into it and over the 13 years, every week's, got its ups and downs and, being down here in this house and every week seems to be sitcom like. It has a plot, a storyline. It has a little there's some what do you call it? Yeah, there's an antagonist that's leading the way. There's comic relief. There's all the ingredients, and then at the end of the week, it kind of gets summed up, and there's a moral to it or a lesson in it, and it's real sitcom like, and it seems to go from Tuesday to Tuesday, and I would say that one of the theme this week, as I go over the week, the theme this week has been relief. We're in this game 13 years. I've been sober 13 years coming up and helping people for about 12 and a half. And there just seems to be this game that is played and that we're all playing and all of you are involved in. And it's kind of this pressure and relief. And it's all the families out there. And I know that you're feeling pressure, and then you get some relief, and there's pressure, and then there's relief, and there's pressure and relief, and pressure and relief, and then there's the strange ways that people get the relief, and there's the same strange ways that people handle pressure. So basically what we're doing here on a Tuesday night is taking people through handling pressure and getting relief. This is how I now deal with life and handling pressure and getting relief, and I think tonight what I'm going to do is something that I never do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see if we can give someone some relief. We're going to see if we can get someone who's struggling to put their struggle out there, and then see what we can kind of learn from that struggle and see what we can do for someone. So we're going to invert how we normally do it. Normally there's a message, and then we open it up, but tonight we're going to open it up, and then we're going to see how that, because I came in blank tonight, kind of a freestyle. I came in with nothing but pressure and relief, and we're going to see how that, what that turns into, and maybe tonight we can give someone some relief, and maybe we can do it the proper way. So whoever's dares to get out there on the court and open up and bring your struggle to us and tell us what you're struggling with this week, or what's difficult, or what you've been put up against. So we're going to open it up first, and then we're going to see where this goes. So it's a test, and we'll wait, and we'll wait for you. So
I kind of want to nominate somebody, but I don't want to put her on the spot either based on the message I got today. I don't know, but we'll wait. Oh, wait, you can raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself. You can raise your hand. You can just unmute yourself and start talking.
Well, what I'd like to show, and what you're doing by putting your struggle out there, is that you're going to be helping somebody else see how what we do here and what it is that we think Battlefield does to help people, and what it is we think Rebuild does to help people in in how we provide relief for that pressure and how we teach people to get that relief from that pressure. So that's what you're helping others by getting out there.
All right. You can use the raise your hand feature on your device or get my attention somehow.
So if you haven't heard and you came on late, we're inverting this thing. So we're opening it up right now and then we'll turn that into the message. So here we go. Lisa's coming up already.
Yeah, so
We need to be able to see her. You're muted, Lisa. We need to be able to see you so I can put you up here, and we can't hear you now all of a sudden.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You won't be able to see me because my camera's broke.
Okay.
Mm.
So my struggle right now is I have never seen my daughter in such gridlock. And it's hard to decipher. We've got, as many of you know, we've got her at a depression clinic right now. But she talks a lot about not being able to get art out of her head and trying to decipher if she's in complete gridlock because she cannot be honest with herself about maybe art being right about a few things about her character. And trying to, help her get past those things that are all, things that we do as humans, period. I mean, you talk a lot about the human condition, period. This isn't just about, people that have addiction. All of us humans have these conditions that we go through in life, right? It's just how we cope with things. Some people will, turn to drugs and alcohol. Some people, do something else to get through it. But whatever's going on, it's just, I mean, like I said, I have never seen her or anyone in such a position before. And so, I don't really know how anybody can help us with this. But I'm kind of at I'm kind of at a loss. A lot. I mean, I'm really honest about, working through things with her and whatnot. But I don't know. When you're talking to people with addiction, Art, have you had it be where a person just can't conceive that or accept that their choices are what are directing their life? I mean, I don't know. Just
Okay, so let's just talk specifically with you, Lisa. Let's
Okay.
leave her difficulties over there for a minute. And this is about pressure and relief.
yeah.
This is about you needing relief.
Yeah.
So the question and this is not just for you, this is for every parent on here, because we can all say the struggle is real in this idea of how am I going to make a difference in this person's life? How am I going to help? And so the question I have is, where is your relief?
Well, my relief is pretty organic. I mean, I go out in nature and hike, and I live in a beautiful place where I go out and do that, and I pray and connect with God. I those are the two main things. I go out in nature, exercise, and I connect with God.
And
Um,
I wanna put a disclaimer out tonight. There's two things that you won't normally hear me talk about. One is God and one is, and I, not because I don't believe in a God of my understanding, and not because I'm just not a religious person, so I don't do that. But I don't talk about it because I don't know what people want to hear about it, and it's my thing. And I also don't talk about the 12 steps too much, but I might be mentioning both of them tonight. And so just a little disclaimer that, you know, it's when I speak about God, it's about God of my understanding. So what does God say, Lisa?
I don't really ask. I just kind of picture him holding her in his arms and putting all his light and love on her, and you know, taking the burden off.
Yeah. and that's, and there it is. And there's the relief. In the 12 steps, by the way, they've, and this is also an Al-Anon. So if anyone goes to Al-Anon, they would learn this too. But when you're doing your life in a 12-step based way, the first 3 steps are about one thing, and they can be summed up when one 3 steps can be summed up in one statement, and that's trust God. And steps 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 10 are clean house. So it's do what I do for my life to be okay. And then the last 2 are help others. The last one, help others. So the steps can be divided into 3 parts: trust God, clean house, help others. And when I have to go back to the difficulty of my life and the pressure and the release, this is the formula that I must use. Trust God, clean house, help others. And there's where you find that relief. So it's good that, and that's the hardest part about this helping, trying to make a difference in somebody's life, is trusting God. That's the hardest part. That's what people just don't want to let go of. They don't want to trust God. They want to trust what they're going to do. They want to trust their will. They want to put their will on this thing. And for me, I don't normally help people too well when I'm imposing my will. And that will come with a big backlash when I begin to impose my will. And it's evident for other people when I impose my will, and not working too good. So we find refuge, or we take refuge, and we find relief from the pressure. And that's how you decided to find relief, and it's a very good way. But this relief that we find can't just be temporary. It can't be just for a second, because it's not enough. Because what's happening in the rest of our life, the relief has got to creep in to and dictate our behavior. The relief has got to come through us and lighten us for the rest of the journey. So while we're on this journey, we can find the relief and have it kind of shine light in us. And that relief then dictates our sense of urgency. It dictates our patience. It dictates the pressure that we put on people. It dictates the timeline that we seem to want people to be on. And that first 3 steps, it says trust God, but finding relief in it means I find relief while I'm dealing with the person. I find relief in the moment that I'm deciding things. I'm finding relief always. And that's the important part. Is it's not remember to trust God. It doesn't say like remember to trust God. It says trust God. That means it's all day. It doesn't say, when it's really shitty and it's all bad and you've reached your limit and you've already yelled and you've already, got mad at people and you've already got resentful and you've already got hateful and the anger's whipped through you, and then go somewhere and trust God. It says, live your life like you trust God. That's what it's meaning. And it says, we made it the step 3 is beautiful when it says we, like I said, another disclaimer, because this is not a 12-step program and I'm not a religious man, but I like to reference this stuff because this is what helps me. So I like to help people the way that it helps me. But it says we made a decision to turn our will and our life over to a God of our understanding. And I love that it says a God of our understanding, because that's what it just means. See, I have understood God my whole life. I've understood my God my whole life. And for me in particular, my God has always been just. When I do bad, things go bad. When I do good, things go good. That's how it goes. When I have patience and I trust God, he shows me that I was right to trust him every time. He shows me what comes up when I just have patience and I don't try to instill my will. So this is a big idea for relief here. And I like that, Lisa, that you got right to the point that you go and you talk to God. Because I was going to have to get there tonight at some point. Because see, I might not trust God all the time. I might not need to. I might not think I need to. And so then maybe I won't. But then for me, when my life, because I've been under intense pressure the last couple of weeks, and maybe people don't notice it, but we've been under some intense pressure down here, and it's been real tough. All that plays in my head is trust God. Trust God, trust God, trust God. And then, and as you do that, you'll just see that what happens is, though, when you find relief in the dangerous things, God won't show you that you can trust him. When you find relief in the dangerous things, more demise, more hurt, more pain come. But when you find relief in this, there's refuge, and you can take refuge in it, and it's safe. So what I say with Jolie is we got to trust God. And I think we think about her every day, or I think about her every day. What's the plan here that he has? What am I to learn from this? What is it that I am learning about my dealings with Jolie? What are you learning about your learnings with her? See, this pressure relief thing, this thing is awesome, because the thing isn't pressure and relief. The thing is the human that's created from the pressure. That's what we're really dealing with. We're actually getting to a place where we're talking about what kind of human gets created when they face pressure and find proper relief. Face pressure, find proper relief. We're not talking about the type of human that gets created by facing pressure and quitting. We're not talking about, because that's nothing. We're not talking about the type of human that faces pressure and does drugs. We're not talking about face pressure, overeat. We're not talking about face pressure, harm ourselves. We're talking about the type of human being that faces difficulties and then finds proper relief in getting through their day. Life on life's terms, but magnified to putting yourself in these situations where you're creating the pressure so that you can deal with the pressure. Putting yourself around difficult people, putting yourself in difficult spots, not running from, being around people that are tough, helping drug addicts, helping families of drug addicts, whatever it is that you decide to put that pressure on yourself. Because what type of human can be created that doesn't run from pressure, that doesn't back down? I like that idea that I can say, I'm a man of faith. I'm a person of faith. And when the pressure is the most, I'm dealing with it through the lens of trusting God. That's how we're dealing with it. That it's not my will, that this isn't my doing, that I'm here as like just a kind of an awesome spectator to this. And I didn't do anything to cause it, or I just got to be part of it. And that's the faith, is that there's something out there a little smarter than me that's running things. That same thing like provides the wisdom for my body to heal without me. Like what provided the wisdom for my body to heal without me? My hand was mangled by the dog and bitten into, and we had a dog fight. And how did it just heal? It's crazy, you know? Yeah. So this is all about soaps. Thank you, Lisa. And anyone else is next.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Kat, I see you unmuting yourself. Hi, I was hoping. I was hoping, Kat. Just because your message today lined up perfectly with what he was asking for, so hi.
Hi, I know. I know that you know my story, but my son, Jesse, it'll be 3 years in June that he overdosed from fentanyl. And I'm now dealing with his younger brother that saw horrible things, the horrible things that his brother was doing, was living in the same house. I was not. He witnessed terrible things. And then the last almost 3 years, he didn't go off to college. It was all set to go. He hasn't worked a job. He barely leaves the place. He was at one point drinking 2/5 of vodka a day. I know that he smokes pot every night before he goes to bed. And I finally have gotten him into a doctor. I'm having his levels checked in his liver and going through everything. He's finally seeing a therapist. They've got him on antidepressants, but I don't know what he's doing when he's not with me. He comes for the weekends, and you know, I don't drink with him. I don't do any of that stuff with him. I don't want to be a bad influence, and I'm trying to get him healthy, and I don't know what to do. I'm totally lost at what to do for him because he's so broken. And I guess I feel like I'm watching my second son start to go, do the same thing. Like I'm going to lose another son.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's going to be 24 in August.
And did this start after he lost his brother?
He was smoking weed and doing and that kind of stuff. But he was always in athletics, and I never even knew he was doing it. And he was able to maintain that, but his dad and I started to go through a divorce, and it got very bad. And so there was a couple years prior to his brother dying, but since his brother died, he is completely shut off from people, from his friends. He gets out once in a while, but it usually involves drinking, and it's around drinking and stuff.
So how do you handle the pressure?
Today I went hiking today. But
A lot of
normally
drug addicts causing hiking.
Yep.
Drug addicts all over the country just causing people to hike. Yeah. Everybody's parents are out, dude.
Yeah.
If you just ask someone where their parents are and they say hiking, you just go, "Oh my God, you're a drug addict." Oh. Wow.
We need to have a mom's hiking retreat down here in Vegas, I think.
Oh, goodness.
I agree.
And what do you think is in this for you?
I'm sad every day. I have to put that in a box and still live life. And I have to try to show my son that that's what you got to keep doing. I have a job I have to do. I'm not rich. I can't just bow out of life and just give up. I have to keep going. So I do. And I'm a flight attendant. I fly all over the world. Right now, I'm stuck at home for 6 months after surgery. So I'm just trying to encourage him and just support him, but I don't know what he's doing when he's not with me. And when he called me bawling this morning because he was supposed to come down and had a dentist appointment, and he called me this morning and said he just couldn't leave the house. And then I just said, you know, I'm disappointed. This is something that we, you know, that we have scheduled. You know, I planned this for you. I was looking forward to spending time with you, and but I also don't want to pressure him. So I don't know what the right thing to do is. So he called me back 5 minutes later, bawling, and just said he's sorry, he just couldn't do it.
I'm gonna ask again. What do you think this is in? What is in it for you to learn? What an opportunity. See,
A lot.
hey, we either have a problem here, and that's everyone on here. You either got a problem here, or you got an opportunity. And what I found is that if someone is showing up like a problem for me, I can't help them. If they show up like a teacher for me, like something that's supposed to teach me something, it puts me in the proper position to help. It aligns me properly. So it puts me in a position that not only, and I don't know what your belief system is, and you don't need to say, but it puts me in a position of service. It doesn't put me in a position of control. And so the relief comes when you see that this pathway is for you, that you are blessed, with this, and that yeah, although you lack knowledge in what to do, but that's not what it's about. It's about how do you find what you need to find in this, and what this pressure of your life is going to create out of you, how this is going to turn for you. Because it can't be the story that you want to, it can't be that.
Yeah.
It just can't be that. You know, we have to look at the story here. It can't be, I lost one son, I lost another son, and now I'm sad every day. That can't be the story. We have to do better than that. And we have to now look and see, what is the offering here? You know what acceptance means, the definition of it. It means to receive what is offered. And you know, when Angie lost her son, this is what we dealt with. We receive what is offered. This is what I'm sorry it is. It seems unfortunate. I'm not sure, but this is what the universe is offering you right now. And you can either receive it or you can reject it. And when you open up your arms and heart and receive it and say, okay, I'm going to be of service to this. I'm going to get what's here for me. I'm going to receive it. Everything changes. And so this is a teacher for you. And this will make you a teacher. And it'll turn you into that. And so we can help with the particulars, and we're going to help your son. That's the easy part. See, the mistake is that it's not for you. Because this is absolutely your journey. This is absolutely for you. And you have to see it that way for this to get real good. And it'll get real good, and there'll be relief. So what is this? And I'll get into it in a few, but where do we find this proper relief? This healthy relief? This place that we can go and trust and be safe and feel good, even when things don't look too sunny. And that's what we need, because it doesn't always look too sunny. But we got you, Kat. Thank you for finally tuning in and We're gonna, she's donated more money than anyone, and she's never tuned in for the help.
She brought like 4 tables
Yeah,
of people.
she owes
to
it, she owes me
auction.
we all owe our
I'm
lives.
usually always flying in a different country, so I really have like usually in
Yeah.
another.
Well, I got your attention for 6 months, so
Yeah, yay.
yeah.
Yay.
You do.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
We'll get together while I'm in Seattle next week, Kat, and we'll schedule a consultation so we can get to know some more details about what's going on and what you're dealing with. So we'll do a consultation so we can find out more. Okay.
Okay, thank you guys.
We'll have coffee or something while I'm in town.
Okay, perfect.
All
Thank
right, Kat. So good to see you.
you. Good to see you.
Open up for another. Or-
Yeah, take me on.
Okay, who else out there?
We're listening for someone who's really struggling today, someone who needs to share, someone who needs some answers.
There's a raise your hand feature on your device. I'm doing it right now. You can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself. You can say hi in the chat and let me know if you can't figure out how to unmute yourself. I can do it for you. There's someone else out there. I just know it.
Pressure and relief, pressure and relief, pressure and relief. How can I go back into the fire and then cool down? And how can I stay in the fire and then cool down? And how can I stay cool while being in the fire? This is what we're working with. This is what we're here to teach. And I'm going to talk until someone comes in, but I learned that was what this was about a long time ago. That it was about me finding a proper relief system for doubt, a proper relief system for pressure. What am I going to do when it gets tough? How am I going to not quit? How am I going to keep moving forward? How am I going to impact my environment? How am I going to produce the environment that I would like to produce, whether that's in my family, in my home, in my workplace, in my community? And in all these forms, when I go about the business of trying to impact my environment, whether that is my family, my workplace, my extended family, my church, my community, whatever it is, every time you go about the business of trying to improve it, trying to make it a better place, trying to do this, you will face pressure and you will need relief from that pressure. Right now, the #1 relief in America, and it's what everybody's using, you will find it across the country on TV, the #1 pain reliever in the world is complaining. It is the #1 pain reliever. There is nothing else, and do not get it mixed up. Complaining, why you do it, why humans do it, why humans complain, is it makes them feel superior. It makes them identify as a victim. And for some reason in America, people like to be the victim. They just like to play the victim. And don't and understand what complaining does. Complaining gets out the negative and scared energy. It's just what it does. And so rather than change their environment, people feel the pressure of their environment and they leave the environment and they go home and they complain about their environment. And then they feel the pressure of their family environment and they go to work and they complain about their family environment. And then they leave and they go to church and they complain about their work and their family environment. And then they go home from church and they complain to their family about the people at the church. And then they go out to eat to have a good time, but then they complain about the waiter. And that's what people are doing. They are relieving their pain in the most improper way, although it doesn't hurt much, but it does. So when we complain, what we are doing is we are dumping our pain on other people. We are saying, my life is not my fault. It's somebody else's. My environment is not my fault. It's somebody else's fault. And I am a victim to it. And that somehow gets all the pain, and we seem to find relief in that venting. We seem to find relief in claiming that someone else screwed our life up. We really find relief in that. The problem with it is your life is still screwed up. The problem is the environment still sucks. You know how many people I hear say toxic environment? I've never been in one. I've lived with drug addicts for 13 years. Some of the most people that come to me and their family has said, this is the most toxic person you've ever seen. I've still never been in a toxic environment. Haven't. Because I believe it might be an environment that's not that fun. But if I handle the pressure, I can actually make a difference in that environment and turn an unfun environment into something good. And I believe that. Just in the same way that I believe I can turn a great environment into a real shitty one. I have huge capabilities to turn a great environment into a shitty environment. But people don't think they have capabilities to turn a bad environment into a good one. They just don't see that in themselves. So that's what they do. They complain and they make a bad environment worse. And people complaining about their environment, you're just making it worse. You're turning your back on it, you're blaming it, you're making it worse. And the reason you complain is because you're not finding proper relief. So you're applying pressure and you don't have proper relief. So you blame. You blame. You blame whoever you can blame. And the fact is this is going on, and whether we find who's to blame or not, it's still going on. So this pressure and relief and where I find it, and for me, this is just, what we're teaching down here, and this beautiful thing happened this week down here where I got kind of disgruntled and I got kind of down and I got kind of upset about the domination of trying to teach this stuff, and I was thinking no one was listening, and I was kind of being a victim, but I was hiding it really well and being sneaky and clever about how I was saying it, and these kids, everyone in this program showed me their heart. And that's what's happened this week in some form. And at the moments that I thought I can't handle this pressure anymore, God showed me that I could trust him. Every single time the pressure hit, I didn't use improper forms of relief. The pressure hit, I sat with the pain, I trusted God, and he showed me that's what I should have done. And it's been a beautiful lesson in faith and handling pressure. And you all live with maybe one drug addict or maybe two or maybe three. Well, I like to surround myself with about 20 at a time. And I like to take them on. I like to take them on 20 on one. I don't, some people, they like to have like a bunch of staff. I like to have just a couple people helping me and no staff. And I like to just have them all, just applying as much pressure as I can. But what that's created for me is that's just who I am now. And the pressure, because you handle it, it's how much more can I take to improve me? For a long time, I went around this business in my first years, and I believed wholeheartedly that what I was sandpaper. And I had all these rough rocks around me. And I thought, these rough rocks all need my sandpaper. And I'm going to smooth them all out. And that's what I went about the business doing. And then all of a sudden you look and you're just paper. And there's holes in it. And what you'll come to see, and what you all should come to see with your family, is that you're not the sandpaper there to smooth out the rock. They're the sandpaper and you're the rock. That their problems were here to make you better. That the way you handle it, the patience that's created, the wisdom that's created, the trust that's created, the God that's created, the love that's created, the compassion that you gain, the honesty that you have to deal with, that you were never there to smooth them out, that you were always a rough rock yourself, and that they're the sandpaper here to help you and make you a better person. This is here to polish you. This is here to show you how to love. This is here to show you how to have compassion. This is here to show you how to have patience, how to trust, how to have faith. Look and see. And if anyone can deny what I'm saying, well, then you can tell me it's not true, but you can't deny it. You can't deny that if you look at it this way, that if you stop trying to impose your will, stop trying to make it do what you want it to do. Stop trying to force it. Also, stop throwing gasoline on it. Because, by the way, I'm not saying lay down and send money. I'm saying say no kindly. Say no with patience. Say no with kindness. Say no with your heart. And maybe you go, well, I don't know how to do that. I know. That's what you're here to learn. You're here to learn how to say no kindly. You're here to know how to get the cynicism out. You're here to get the sarcasm out. You're here to get the arrogance out. You're here to get the compassion out. You're here to get all this stuff. Rid yourself and then gain compassion and gain patience and gain wisdom and rid yourself of all these other things. And that's, by the way, all these things are still here. My arrogance, my righteousness, my lack of patience, my lack of wisdom, all of it is still here. Except it just gets a little less. I'm still a rough rock, but I see it that way now. See, I'm in the proper alignment to be taught. And I can stay in this proper alignment to be taught. And I'm taught by all this that's going on. And I learn and teach and learn and teach. And what we're learning here, these young people that are here, these men and women that are here, they're in their 20s, they're in their 18, 19, 20s, 30s, and they're learning to keep an open heart. They're learning that here. They're learning what that even means. How many of us in our 20s even knew what it meant to keep an open heart? How many people on here in your 30s knew what it even meant to keep an open heart? See, they know what it means to either have a closed heart or an open heart. They know what that means. They know whether we're protecting ourselves from the world or loving the world, whether we're protecting ourselves from people or trying and judging them and being closed off and resentful to them, or whether they're open and caring about other people, looking at other people's point of view and other people's perspective. And I can get real down on myself, but I can remember I'm here to learn still. What is left to be taught for me? When I'm done learning, I can quit. See, when I want to be done learning, then I quit helping drug addicts. That's it. I'll just have to say, I'm out. I'm done learning. I can't take any more learning. I can't take any more lessons. Enough's enough. The pressure has gotten to me. So anyone else struggling? We use a mindfulness practice here, which means we're practicing a self-awareness, practicing this self-observation, literally the only seemingly way a human could get better, to observe themselves. How could something get better if it can't observe itself? And that's what we have, this capacity as human beings to observe ourselves. So I teach them to stay in this observatory position. It's not always easy because when your heart closes, you're not observing yourself anymore. You're blaming others. So how do you keep your open heart and stay up here in this observatory position and kind of shine a light on your own behavior and your own impatience and your own lack of compassion and your own anger, and watching your anger arise, watching it go down, and just being part of this whole learning thing. The teachings, the learning, everything that comes about. Why are we here? If you all think that you're here because your loved one gets sober and this thing's all fixed and the human condition doesn't work and it doesn't matter anymore, that would be crazy. Guess what? If your loved one does get sober, it's going to feel like this. life. It's going to feel like this. And I want you to note that before your loved one got sober, it felt like this, and your whole life, it feels like this. Note that there's always problems. Note that there's always pressure. Just comes in different forms. So even when everyone gets sober and seemingly you think you got what you wanted, you're still going to need to practice pressure and relief, pressure and relief, pressure and relief. Something else will arise. You will get sick. Your loved one will get sick. Life will sabotage you in another way. And here you'll be handling a different type of pressure. This wasn't the first pressure you've handled. It's not the last. But it is the lesson. This one is the greatest teacher. And here we are, these young humans, here to learn to handle pressure. Here to learn to take it on. What are you handling? How much pressure can you take on? Or at the sight of pressure, am I going in my room and giving up? Or do I battle the pressure? Do I face it? You see, when the real pressure starts, come here in the living room. When the real pressure starts, get up, face people. When there's no pressure, go sleep in your bed with a smile. Fine. But do not pull that cover over your head when there's pressure. Do not shut those blinds when there's pressure. When there's pressure, you get up. You sit with it. You talk. You tell truth. You breathe. You observe yourself. You practice. That's what you're here to learn. Learning to handle pressure. What an amazing God that He gave you pressure. What an amazing universe that we are granted pressure. Because it's what we need to get better. Without it, we cannot get better. People with no pressure do not improve. So if you want to find a life that has no pressure, fine. I'll see you by your TV at 6 p.m. every night for the rest of your life. And you can be very proud of yourself that nothing went wrong. I feel for people that things don't go wrong. I feel for people that have never experienced drug addiction. I feel for people. I don't call it a tragedy. I feel for people that haven't lost. Because you're going to lose. I feel for people who haven't had adversity. What kind of life is that? I had 2 lives. Drug addiction is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Nothing greater in my life. I owe everything to it. Everything. People lose their kids. I don't know why that happens. But I know to trust God. I know that that must take amazing faith to not hate God for that. I know that. And for the people who have lost their kids, they look at the rest of you that have your kids and they say, you're lucky. And we look at people that have our kids that are drug addicts, and we look at people that don't have a drug addict kid and we go, you're lucky. And then the people that don't have a drug addict kid and have never lost a kid and have something else, look at someone else and go, you're lucky. But nobody ever says, I'm lucky. Not when they're losing. See, when I'm losing, I'm lucky. When I'm winning, nothing. I'm a guy that likes to be losing and turn it around. That's what I like. Facing pressure. I hope tonight can, I hope you see that this is about what we think it's about. What I think this whole thing's about is facing pressure with an open heart. How long can I go before righteousness takes over and I be angry and righteous with someone? How do I keep that pressure in and keep my heart open and face things with the wisdom of trust, saying, I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why this person is behaving this way. But I trust the universe. I trust I do the right thing and good things will happen. I trust God. I trust this. And I trust if I handle it with an open heart, with wisdom, with calmness, it will improve. And there is my mission, to face this pressure with an open heart, to get above my mind, not bonded inside of it, not stuck inside of my thoughts, but up above them, seeing the thoughts, but not being part of them, getting out of my head, getting closer conscious contact with the creator of my choosing. And then I find relief. I find relief in that trust. I find relief in my faith. I don't know why things are happening. I don't have that kind of wisdom. They're just happening. I have that kind of wisdom. I have the wisdom to accept what is going on. And to look and see the lack of wisdom in non-acceptance. Why are people so confused? Why are people so confused on what's happening? Why are people so, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Really? This world has porcupines. And you can't believe what? But you can believe there's porcupines. I can't believe this guy does drugs, but you can believe there's porcupines, right? In a world that something created porcupines, you can't believe someone could be angry with you. You can't believe a guy could like cut you off. You can't believe someone doesn't know how to drive a car properly. You can't believe somebody could act this way at work. You can't believe this. I can't believe this. Really? I can't believe people act this way. There is fish with wings. It's like, what?
Octopus.
Yeah, yeah. There's things with 8 legs, 2 legs, 3 legs, 4 legs. What? There's Mount Rainier. I saw one thing where this lady thought Mount Rushmore was natural. And she was saying, I can't believe there's Mount Rushmore. You know? Pressure and relief. When we need relief, we get it properly. Some people gotta complain. I know there's times that you can't help it because you need relief. That's just not gonna change anything. It's gonna give you a little relief. You dump your pain on someone else. You blame someone else for your problems. It's temporary relief. It's not the real stuff. It's not gonna make you act better. It's not gonna trickle into your daily behaviors, such as like wisdom and faith do. See. And see everyone when they get done and their kid is sober and their family's back intact. They can just look back and tell someone else, just have faith. Just have faith. Yeah, it's easy once it's all back intact, huh? A little harder when you're in the war. A little harder when you're in the fight. So we are here to provide relief, not just yell at you every Tuesday. Tonight, I'm ready to help. Another way for me to find relief is to help someone else. Remember to get out of my problems every now and then and see there's other people with problems. It helps. Jar of a lot of water. I got a bit that I'm working on. I got a bit. Now I haven't finished the bit, so just bear with me here. you parents might understand. For a drug addict, at some point, what happens to them is they stop dealing with stuff that happens. Okay? So I've got this new bit. Like, let's say this new comedy bit that I'm working on. I'm gonna go do it at like open mic, but I'm gonna do a whole line of drug addict comedies. But for drug addicts, what I like to say now is their problems just become facts. You see, for normal human beings, like a lot of you parents, when your car breaks down, that's a problem. And what you do with that is you fix your car that day. What a drug addict does is they say, my car doesn't run anymore. And that just becomes a fact. That car doesn't run anymore, you know? So like, let's say I got another one, Bundle, he lost his car key and it was in his car somewhere. And he's just been driving around, not being able to lock his car, but he knew the key was in his car because he's just been driving around. So for most humans, you would all think losing your key and having it in your car is a problem. But he's just been driving around with it for like a week. Like his keys lost is like a fact. You see, it's just a fact.
It's gone.
You know, maybe the washer and dryer quits working. Normal people go, we got to get it fixed today. Drug addicts go, that washer and dryer is broken. It's just now a fact. It's just over. Drug addicts, like, they'll lose their shoes and they just go, I don't have shoes anymore. They'll lose their teeth. And for most of us, we would go, I got to get to the dentist today. But not drug addicts. They think that's just a fact now. I have bad teeth. See, some of us, and this can go on and on and on. Drug addicts, problems become facts. My phone screen, to me, if my phone screen broke, that would be a big problem. I can't see my phone. They'll just carry around a phone with a broken screen and say, it's now a fact, my screen's broke. You see? So it's a real thing. You guys get it, right?
Well, in addiction, yes.
I guess it's only funny of us that live with drug addicts every day. Maybe I'll sharpen it up for someone else, you know.
Take it easy too.
I could do it to other treatment center owners, you know, they'll all laugh. But I don't have a job. To a lot of people, that would be a huge problem. To drug addicts, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. You know. What are they saying?
Mama Bundle.
Oh, is she on?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Gary, he just drove around. And he sits down this morning and somebody goes, Bundle, did you find your key yet? And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, well, it's in the car somewhere. And I go, well, did you look? And he said, yes. And I go, wait, you said you looked. But imagine what would be going on in your life, that your key is lost, you know it's in the car, you're looking for the key, and then you stop. Before you find it, you stop. I mean, very similar to maybe being on the toilet halfway through a poop and then just getting up and going to do something else. You see? So I made him and forced him to go outside and look for his key.
Yes.
Yes. It was in the trunk, by the way.
The car drove.
It was in the trunk, by the way.
Oh, good.
So,
Must lose a beat.
It's
Look
still
at that
working.
beautiful moon.
yeah.
Nice.
The rain's
More good
coming.
news for Mama Bundle.
You're camping?
Yeah, we're down in SoCal.
Nice, nice.
Is it flooding there?
Not yet. That's gonna happen on Thursday.
Okay. Are you close to San Diego?
No, we're in Palm Desert.
Oh. Yeah, because San
Yeah.
Diego.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we had last Tuesday, I don't know, about a half an inch, which isn't too bad, but I guess Thursday we're gonna get 3/4 to an inch of rain.
Hmm.
So maybe the RV will float away. Maybe it'll be a houseboat. I don't know. I know I won't be golfing on Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
So the key was in the trunk.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I was cleaning my car.
Well, maybe he has been working pretty heavily every day, so maybe that's a good reason. He's been putting his time
Driving around in his car with the key in the trunk.
The car
in.
started. There's no
The
problem.
car started, there's no problem, Mama Bundle, don't be silly.
But it would start for its buddy.
Yeah, well,
That was the next.
he doesn't like us to talk about that part. He doesn't like us to talk about that part.
That would be another fact.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I'm not gonna tell his dad. I'm not gonna tell his dad.
No, Doug's had enough today. No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you, Carrie. Nice to see your glowing face by the fire.
By the moon.
It is
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
fire in the moon.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll see you next week.
All
Yes,
right.
can't wait to see you.
You won't be there.
8:20.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, yeah. I won't be here. Oh, that's a bummer.
No.
Darn it, I won't.
I'm
see
just
you.
I'm just gonna zoom in and out.
Okay, yeah, I'll be in Seattle next week. All right.
Well,
Just
So
me and
for
Art.
you all that popped on late, next week I'll be in town. Would love to see you guys at the in-person watch party there at Kent's. So please join me next Tuesday night. And the rest of you will still be on Zoom, of course.
so this,
No.
no. So this tonight for me was about the relief that I found, the remembering of how you get it. First of all, wanting it, and sometimes we don't get past the level wanting relief. Sometimes we, and this is just what humans do, sometimes we like being in the problem. Sometimes we like to fixate and be righteous and make ourselves right and be in our heads about the behavior of others. And sometimes we like to victimize ourselves. And sometimes that's where we stay. We just stay right there. Maybe we don't know we need relief from that. But so we're going about business of getting relief from that, but we don't know it. And so a lot of people are in that space and then doing things in their life that are detrimental, but they don't know they're in that space. So the first thing about this relief and pressure thing is to know when I'm under pressure. To know that when I'm under pressure, blame comes in. To know when I'm under pressure, my head wants to resent and complain. And to understand that that's when I'm feeling the pressure. That's when I'm feeling the domination. When I want to blame, when I want to vent, when I want to be angry. And I have to first recognize how I'm under pressure. And then how do I get the proper relief? How do I open my heart back up? How do I calm myself? How do I sit with it? How do I take responsibility? And then how do I speak from an open heart to share my thoughts and to get this stuff out? And how do I practice this? How do I practice being in a space of calmness, practice being in a space of presence and awareness, staying in that state, and then know when it changes and I get under this state of pressure. And to know when I'm under pressure and to begin to say, you know what, I need this to stop. And to get to a place where you know how to properly deal with it. A lot of people just go eat or go complain or go vent. And they never knew that they were even under pressure. For a long time, I didn't know it. And I had to learn when I was under pressure. And I would go straight to blame or complain or whatever it is. And now I have a different different tools. One is to calm my own self, to be in here with the pain, to accept how I feel, to accept the situation, and then to trust God and observe, trust God and see exactly what I have turned my life over to a God of my understanding. So when I do that, and I say that, you see, that step 3 is final. It says we made a decision to turn our will and our life over to God as we understood. Have you made that decision? If you go to Al-Anon, maybe people even go to Al-Anon, they don't make that decision. But for me, I've made that decision. And so that means that there's always a point of reference. There's always a place to be in that place where I've turned it over. And the bigger plan is of the universe, not mine. And then I can have faith in that. And I can see that I don't need to will people to change. I don't need to control people to change. I don't need to do all that. I don't need to make it my way. I can get in a place where I can just have patience and wisdom and trust that it'll all work out. Trust that it's as it's supposed to be. And I can live in acceptance, which means whatever is offered, I will receive. I will receive what is offered. And it doesn't mean I yell and kick and scream. It means the best of my ability, I receive it with an open heart. Nice. More loss. Nice. People are criticizing me. Nice. People are yelling at me. Nice. People say I'm crazy. Nice. Whatever it is. And you face it with an open heart. And this is why we're in a practice here. This is what this is about. This is about getting better. This is about transformation, and not the transformation that you go to Tony Robbins and get. This is about the real transformation. This is about transformation through pressure, which is then this pressure requires faith. This pressure requires wisdom. This pressure requires everything you have, and it teaches you everything. So I hope that will provide relief for you. And I hope you understand and learn more about our practice and what that means, this practice of ridding ourselves of insecurities, turning ourselves over to faith. And that's not even what we talk about. We just talk about keeping an open heart, keeping this observer position. We talk about mindfulness and awareness and quieting the mind. I know a lot of people are struggling with this loud mind. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing to get out of it? I mean, really, and not unhealthy things. What healthy things are you doing to be present? Are you practicing being present? Are you practicing shutting it down on your own, right there, under pressure? Boom. Breath, awareness, room awareness, presence, light, love. Are you practicing? Are you slowing yourself down and learning to sit with the pain? Are you not allowing your mind to blame, or are you allowing it to blame? Are you trying to place blame because you can't handle the pressure? Okay. Well, looks like you need to learn to handle pressure. So there's more to come. This is an ongoing conversation. Like I said, nothing I say is true. It's just thought. It's not fact. It's just there to make you think, and then pick it up if you like it. And it's not my way, it's just a way. So join us for the ongoing conversation and learn more. If you want to philosophize with us on Tuesday and get better, transform. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody. See you next week. Good night, good night.